Okay, we're ready.
My name is Willa Fambro, and I'm originally from Oconee County.
Okay.
We moved from Oconee County when I was going into the 5th grade,
Okay.
and we've been in Athens ever since. And we spent that time in East Athens.
Okay.
We always lived in East Athens. As a matter of fact, I live in East Athens now,
Okay.
in Winterville, Georgia.
All right.
And presently, I'm getting a house built in East Athens on Spring Valley Road.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
I like that area.
Okay. Tell me about your family in Oconee County. Well,
Okay.
how do you spell your last name?
Fambrough.
Okay. We probably already related. We'll talk some more. Okay.
Okay.
Go on.
And my dad was Juba Fambro.
Okay.
He lived to be 99 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was Iris Evans Fambro.
Okay.
And she lived to be one day shy of 88.
Wow. Okay.
And
What did they do? What can you tell me about your parents?
My dad worked on various jobs. I remember when I was very, very young, he worked at a sawmill.
Mm-hmm.
We always had gardens, and when we lived out in the country, it was like a family thing to kill hogs in the wintertime.
Okay,
So
okay.
that would include nephews and children, and so everybody, the food got spread out, you know,
Okay.
and they put it in the smokehouse and whatnot. And my mom, she was a domestic help
Okay.
for the majority of her life. Later on in her life, she began to see about older people in a nursing kind of manner.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, and I graduated from Bernie Harris High School in 1966.
Okay. And I'm sorry. Okay. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about anything else you can tell me about Oconee and your parents. You mentioned something about the hogs and the farming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I was really young when we left Oconee County, so
Okay.
I don't remember a whole lot of people other
Right.
than my immediate relatives.
Okay.
Uh,
Who were some of them?
My dad had a sister named Ludi Fambro.
Okay.
And he had, my dad had a lot of brothers and sisters.
Okay.
His mother's name was Beulah Fambro.
Mhm.
And they lived on the Hardigree place
Okay.
when he was growing up. My mother, and dad, I don't know very much about them because I remember when I was probably about 1.5 or 2 years old, my grandparents died, so I don't remember very much about them,
Okay.
or their history. I do remember my mother telling me that my granddad was part Indian, and he was very dark, but he had real straight silky hair. And my grandmother, she was kind of real light skinned and very petite, and with the nice hair.
Okay.
And that's what I remember from being 2 whatever years
Uh-huh.
old, as I remember them. But I can't remember a whole lot about them. And my mom had one brother, Ernest Evans, and she had about 4 other sisters.
Okay. All
And,
right. Did you have sisters and brothers? Or?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
How many? And their names?
Okay, my oldest brother was named Donald Fambro, my oldest and only brother.
Okay.
Donald Fambro, my sister Jaretha Fambro, Mary Lou Fambro, Marjorie Fambro, and Ernestine Fambro.
Okay.
Those were my siblings, and I had 2 other siblings that passed away.
Okay.
And that was consistent of our family. My 2 oldest siblings, my brother and my sister, they got married when I was really young,
Okay.
so they did not stay in the household.
Okay.
And
Where did you start school?
I started school in Hillsboro.
Okay.
At a
Tell me
school-
about. I heard of Hillsboro.
Uh-huh.
What's the was a church too, right? Yeah, right.
It
And
looked
then
like a
was
church.
Right.
It's very hard to remember back,
Right. Okay.
so far back, but it did. It looked like a church.
Right. Okay.
And I can remember that it was built over a part of it, of the church or the school was built, and you could see it. It had a little covering over it, and they always told us kids that was kind of like a sinkhole, so we weren't allowed to
Wow.
be around that.
Okay.
But I do remember that much about it, and I don't know whether you remember Miss Emma Browning or not.
I do.
Uh,
She was later Miss Emma Fields. She got married,
okay.
and she taught me in the 4th grade. That's why I know so much. At
Okay.
Ed Stroud.
Okay. And she was one of the teachers at Hillsborough.
Okay.
And I don't remember when we made a transfer from Hillsborough to Ed Stroud School, but I
Okay.
went to Ed Stroud until I came out of the 4th grade going to the 5th grade. That's
Okay.
when we moved to Athens.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you went several years, a few years at Ed Stroud.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Tell me about Ed Stroud.
Ed Stroud, when I was there, to me it was like a new school. Very nice building. I remember my 4th grade teacher was Mrs. Calloway. I can't remember my 3rd grade teacher, but Miss Calloway lived here in Athens. And I'm not sure, but I think she still had some relatives, maybe of one sister left, maybe.
Okay.
And but that's basically more or less, what I remember about the school. But I passed by there 1,000 times, going from Athens back to Watkinsville.
Okay.
So
Back then, how did you get to school?
we were rode to school on a bus.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I
What
cried.
about when you went to
Hillsborough?
Did you walk?
No, we bus,
Okay.
still on a bus.
Okay.
And I can remember, I can slightly remember, I can't remember the crying part, but my parents told me I made such a fuss about going to school that they let me go to start school when I was 5 years old,
Okay.
because I just thought that was the thing to do.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
And as I said, I graduated from Bernie Harris. I went to East Athens Elementary School.
Okay.
And
Do
I
you
went to-
remember who the principal was at Ed Stroud at that time?
I sure don't.
Okay.
I do
And
not
then
remember.
you moved to Athens.
Moved to Athens.
And where in Athens did you move again?
We moved to Vine Street.
Vine Street on the east side.
On the east side, And, well, I think we moved in 1959.
Okay.
And in 1963, my parents built a home on Vine Street,
Okay.
just a stone's throw away from where we had moved to where we were renting.
Okay.
And in '63, they built a house there on Vine Street, and we lived there. Well, matter of fact, the home is still in the family.
Okay. Okay.
And my parents lived there from 1963 until December of 2006.
Wow.
My dad had a massive stroke. The neighbor found him sitting in the yard. He had been picking some salad that morning. And they called me, and when I got there, they had gotten him in the ambulance, and so we went to the hospital. And after we had been there for a while, the doctor said, well, he's gonna die. Yes, he did. And I told the doctor, nobody knows that but God.
Right.
And then he took me over and showed me his brain on a scan, and I said, still, nobody knows but God.
Okay.
And so it did turn out that he lived. His speech was impaired. His body was not impaired, just his speech, but he had retained all of his memory, and I said his speech was impaired. And at the age that he was, he did
How
not.
old was he again?
He was 99 and a
99
half.
and a half.
In 2012, he was 99 and a half.
Okay.
And that was in 2006, so 6 years prior to that, he was like 93 when he had this stroke.
Okay.
And so I was working at the post office. At that particular time, I had my time in to retire, and as God would have it, I had my house paid for. And when I moved in my home in 1991, I told God, I said, one day, when my parents aren't able to take care of themselves, I'm going to bring them out here with me. A self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's what I did. I tried to find someone to take care of them, but I just wasn't getting the quality of people that I thought that my parents would be suitable for them. So I prayed about it. And my niece and I, we fasted, and God told me to come out. He said, I've made this way for you, so you need to come out, and that's what I did. And I took care of them from December of 2006. My mom passed away in July of 2008. She was one day shy of being 88 years old, one day shy of her birthday.
Okay.
And my dad died April the 2nd, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved to East Athens, and so you went to Ed Stroud a few years, and when you moved here, what school did you enroll in?
East Athens Elementary School.
Okay.
And Miss, I was trying to think whether Miss McWhirter was the principal over there, or whether she was the principal at Lyons. I think she might have been the principal at Lyons Junior High.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how many years did you go to East Athens?
Up until in 7th grade. I think that was the year they turned the school at the airport into that was the first year that they separated the 8th graders, because previously the 8th graders had started high school with the the high school, but then they broke it off and they started doing junior high.
Okay.
So in 7th and 8th grade, we went to what I think is called Howard B. Stroud now, over by the airport.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Lions.
It was Lions.
Right.
Lions.
Okay.
And I went there for 2 years, and then came to the 9th grade in high school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And 9th grade high school, it was here at
Bernie Harris
up the street here.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about that. What was that like?
It was a good experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
Learned a lot. Book wise.
Okay.
And had a lot of friends.
What would you say about the teachers back then? Those teachers
I thought the teachers were good. I thought they were great.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to learn, you could learn.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't, that was on you.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that they did a good job in providing the lessons and teaching us what we needed to know if we chose to, venture further into college or whatever path we decided to take.
Were you involved in any activities at the school, in clubs?
Yeah.